Alright, in the first video you learned how to make a hollow ball out of clay. Now we're going to take this ball and we're going to make it into a whistle that actually works. And it's going to end up having a mouthpiece that sticks out. So I'm going to draw you an example of what you're going to be doing. You're started off with your hollow ball, which is simply a circle that is hollow. You're going to be adding clay or pulling clay from one side of it so it makes a mouthpiece. So it has this little piece sticking out. Once you have this piece sticking out, what you're going to be doing is you're going to take tools and you're going to poke a hole right through the mouthpiece so that it is even with the top of this hollow ball. Once you do that, we actually cut out a chunk of our clay at a 45-degree angle, and we stick another piece in that actually has to line up with this. And if it doesn't, we're going to slowly pull it to the side so that it does line up. The idea is that as you blow in it, the air circles around and it comes right up out of the top and forms a whistle. So how do we do that? You're going to take your hollow ball, and remember we had about 1/4 of an inch thickness of clay on here. So easily we can just take and start moving this clay. Especially if we're working with it right after we get done creating the hollow ball. And I can start to pull the clay so it starts to give me a mouthpiece. Now wherever my mouthpiece is, I want it to be flat along the top. And I want my mouthpiece to stick out enough where my mouth can actually wrap around it, right? So this is my mouthpiece right here. This is where I'm going to actually blow on it. So I'm going to take a simple popsicle stick and I'm going to shove right in that mouthpiece. And I can feel when it gets to the hollow part. When it gets to the hollow part, all I'm going to do is push this up. So it's actually resting right on the top of there. So there's my mouthpiece. I'm then going to take this wedge tool. Okay, so it's sort of flat and wedged at one end, pointed at the other end. And I'm going to poke this right along the edge here so it's even with the side. So I have a hole at the top and I have a hole in this mouthpiece, right? Just these two holes does not make any kind of a whistle noise. What I have to do is I have to actually angle this hole out. So I'm going to stick this back in here and I'm going to hold it while I actually angle this back at about a 45-degree angle. And I'm just going to clean it out. Now if I look down that hole, I can actually see where this is just along the edge there. I'm going to pull this up. Now like I showed you in my drawing, the idea is that this air will blow in here and it goes right to the top. And it's going to make a circle and come right out of this hole. If I don't get a noise, it means something's blocking it on the inside. So I'm starting to get a little bit of a noise, not much. So I'm just going to play around with it. I may even have to stick my finger in here and make sure that there's no loose clay inside of there, because it has to be really clean. So if I'm looking at my picture, this inside has to be really clean. If I have any chunks of clay here, I'm going to have to take and sort of stick my finger in here or something and scrape that clay clean. So by doing this, it sort of opens this hole up a little bit. I'm going to then play around with angling it, and there I have my whistle.